'Cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Oh, there you are. Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 5 minutes away from 12 o'clock. I'm just like Cinderella. I have to have the shoe back before midnight, or there'll be war. A lot later than I had anticipated and expected, but due to circumstances beyond my control. I was away today. I said I'd go to Galway midweek, but I didn't get off as early as I planned. But I went to have a shower this morning. It was probably 10:30. Had a bit of a headache. I don't think I slept. I didn't sleep well last night. I was awake half the night. It was spurts and starts sleep, and I said I'd had 5 minutes on the bed, but it turned into an hour and a half. It was after 12 when I woke, but I felt good after. Good sleep, and had a shower, and the next thing it was 20 to 1, and I said, sure, just as the horse running at 10 to 1. Shanty Alley. He was running too fast at the start. That was his problem. He thought he was a 5-year-old instead of a 10-year-old. They burned themselves out and let the sleeper out the back come nice and steady and win it. And then I was going to go and not watch the next race, so I said I'd wait and watch Night on Earth. And as I said last night, he was in trap 7. We'd know our fate after 100 yards. Well, we knew it. He was going to win. He came out of the stall fairly lively, I'll tell you. Reminded me of, there was a felly back in the 90s in Gulfstream in Miami or Florida, a Mexican trainer. He was claiming horses for 8,000 and he was putting them up to 14,000 on the winning, claiming them for 10,000. They were winning at 18,000. That was a total no-no that time. You may put them up one notch from 8 to 10 or 10 to 12 or 12 to 14, but you could never skip 2 notches. So there was a sort of investigation when he had 12 winners on the trot. But what he was doing was he was paying the stall handlers, they were also Mexicans, to put a bit of deep heat on their gloves. And when the horse would go into the stall, they just rubbed the horse's balls with the glove and put a bit of deep heat on. And when he started sweating, it got him out fairly lively out of the stalls, but as he sweated, he ran faster. So he got suspended. I don't know I think he got suspended for 10 years. You should try it sometime, some ENC, if you're running a marathon or something. You see, it might put pep in your step. There's probably some of them at the Google machine now already for deep heat. But that's what we had on today. I think he got out of the traps fairly lively, and he won it. There was a power of money for the horse that finished third. I thought it was a bit clever. I didn't do a reverse forecast. I said it was 15-8 without the favour, so I put a few pounds on that. But if he had broke anyways middling at all, he would have finished second. But good profit made on the race. And then we had to wait to the 4:20 for Mumbles. And again, I think after half a mile, we knew we were in Clover. I watched that above I went up to see my brother today. He's getting radium. So I went to that place. It was a lovely facility. There's the lodge, they call it. There's 22 patients there, and they get radium and chemo and that. So they go up on a Monday morning and they leave at midday on Friday. So everything is going according to plan for him so far. And he'll be back Friday, and he has 1 more week then, and then they'll do tests. But he's in good spirits. So it was after 6. We watched that race. As I said last night, the run up the straight had surely suit him, and it did. A big gangly type. He gets the fins. He'll make a good chaser. Well, good enough. And he got a fine ride from Adam Wedge. He was a big price yesterday evening, but there was a lot of money from today. I think he finished up night 4. So we had the old 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf today. Not too bad though. If we get meatloaf every day, we're not too bad. I got my meatloaf tonight. it was 6:10 and I leaving Galway, leaving the hospital, and I was going to Ordenmore. To your Ordenmore in the County Galway, as the song says, to meet a couple of herding chokers, two good men, Thomas Mannion and his buddy David, Doc they call him. So they had fathered when I arrived. One of them was on dessert and a pint, and I had the soup and the roast beef, deadly stuff. I asked in for the menu for the deadly dessert menu, and spotted me old apple tart, and I said, have you the custard and jelly? No jelly, custard, yeah, grand. Landed with it anyway. So it was a plate, and it was a square piece of apple crumble, and in the corner, it was shuffled over into the corner, probably about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches from the corner, and there was a spoon and a half custard, I'd say, and I had to ask her for more. I'm not joking you. There's something, they're against it. But I made her, well, I didn't make her, but I advised her, could she go back and get a little, and she came with a tumbler of custard, so that was grand, it was warm, but it was good crack. So it is there if they harsh it out, but they're afraid to do it. If I was in the kitchen, I'd a bucket of what you'd want. But it was nearly 9:30, and I leaving with a good chat, two good men. There's a betting shop, a BB betting shop next door. We just went in for a look and ploughed on. No traffic on the road. I'm rambling on too much. So I got home at 11:15, and I had 14 runners declared for tomorrow in my tracker. That never ever happened before. Now some of them their sell by date is up, so we just went with 3, and in each way for the Thyestes. One is on the Goo tomorrow. The first race is the Galmoy. Heavy ground tomorrow leads me to go with the Devilscoachman. Mark Walsh, if you're looking in, just get it done tomorrow. The Devilscoachman loves heavy ground. I remember going down to Limerick last year to see him running. Last into March, wasn't it? And then he ran in the Grand National, but I didn't like him that day. I didn't fancy him at all, even though he was 7-1. He didn't stay the distance. But heavy ground, if he is heavy in the description, he's a lot better. Going back there when he bet Ashdale Bob, heavy ground. He has his number a few times. Bet Visionarian on heavy ground. Bet Carl's Cottage, heavy ground. The last day it was heavy ground, but it wasn't far enough. And we backed him in the Troytown. It was a bigger price that day, but he finished 7th, just out of the money. Jumped terribly. But the last day he ran, Sir Gerhard was a bit too classy for him, but he was staying on towards the line. There's not much between them. He's 152 along with Monkfish. Now, Monkfish hasn't ran for 273 days, but he never has won on heavy ground. He's a better ground horse. Yielding to soft actually would be his ideal. But if you look through it there, yielding soft, and it'll be a big ask first time out this year. He hasn't ran since last April. He did all right there, 2.5 mile, but that was yielding to soft to Styrian Furlonge. Like, he's a former Grade 1 winner, and he won the Albert Bartlett and he won the Brown Advisory. But I'm going with the fresher horse, fitter horse, likes the heavy ground. Let's have a peep at the market. 13 Tate. He was a 2-1 shot earlier. He'll drift again in the morning. They're gone cowardly later at night. Where are we going next? We'll leave the big one at the last. Oh, a shout out to, when I think of it, to Jack Murphy. Bertie and Big D, John Egan, Gerald Davis, Graham Wilkins, and I think that's it. Yeah, Bertie and Big D. What a partnership. There's a race at Southwell on the Goo. There's a horse that I was watching the last day for Conrad Allen, and he's ridden by Jack Gilligan. Jack he hasn't that many rides lately. Was he away for a while? But this one he was in the mid 60s and one of 63 in Kimpton before. But let's watch his last run. He's in the green and the green and white. He's over here with the star on the cap.
Our song being pressed again by First Company over to the far side. Stand side is MJ.
And he was only beaten just slightly over a length. He opened up 7-1 this evening. I missed it. I was with him, pair of books at the time. And when I looked at my phone, it was the sevens was gone because I was waiting for this for a few days. He's into threes now. It's under to 30. It was an each way bet, like, because I knew 365 was paying 4 places. They opened up at sevens. We'll get a bit it's a win bet now at this stage. There's 2. We go to the big race. I was saying last night, for people that didn't listen to the video, I'm on Dunboyne. Angels Dawn, I've won with it a couple of times, but I'm just throwing loyalty out the window for the big race tomorrow. With the heavy ground in Gowran is proper heavy winter ground. And if you look at Dunboyne, he beat Street Value by 10 lengths in November 2022 on heavy ground in Gowran. He was getting £3 and he's given, I think, 6. That should bring the Street Value closer to him. But he was second in the race last year to prove that he stays the distance, only beaten a short head. Then he was beaten by Angels John, but he's £10 better off at the weights. Nice prep one on soft to heavy in the Troytown. Kept here for this, and Jack Kennedy rides him. And the other one I mentioned last night, for people that didn't listen to it, was Fakir alene. He was 12s last night. But I hate putting up an each way shot. I had at 12s. But he's a classy sort of a yoke. Where is he here? But a big outsider with a shot tomorrow, another Gordon Elliott trained one is Diel Ker. He loves it heavy too. And he did us a good turn in the Leinster National last spring, 12 months. Been nearly coming up 2 years, wasn't it, in April? Or to the Naas. March 2022 to be, I think it was the Sunday after Cheltenham, was it? That was heavy ground. And I was saying at the time that the Welsh Grand National, but he was with Noel Meade at the time, that the Welsh Grand National, a stay-in trip would be suitable for him. But he had a good run on when he changed stables there. He came 5th to Sir Bob, but he wasn't off a yard that day. Then he fell in the Troytown. But he was 7th the last day in the Paddy Power, soft ground. But he was 40-1 earlier. He might be worth a few pounds for someone, for the bookies are paying 5 or 6 places. But it's always difficult. It's a difficult race, but that's my tuppence, as they say. What price is... Fakir is in Thyestes. But anyone that won a few pound on Angels Dawn has been trained for the race by Sam Curling. Won a few pound on him twice later. He won for the 10-1 in Cheltenham. We backed Espinito Bello last year in this race. He finished 5th. Then he done a good turn for us after that in the Leinster Grand National again. He hasn't ran since December, and his 2 runs there was both over hurdles. But he had a campaign like that last year as well. He hadn't ran from October to the Thyestes, and he finished 5th. And that's the reason I picked him for the race in March, because I said he wasn't fit enough that day. I was down at the furlong pole last year. But Barry Connell is going all right. He has two winners out of 6, hasn't he, lately? The last 14 days he has. But anyway. Shine Marathashe. I have to get this into the oven. It's 12 now. If I do spot anything else, I'll have a quick look in the morning. I'll shove it up because I had no time today with all the bollocks and I was at. Anyway, bash the bookies, over and out.